Julie Mabry always dreamed of running her own bar, and after working hard for so many years, in 2013, she made that dream come true when she opened Pearl Bar. Now, 10 years later, Mabry fears its future might be in jeopardy after an email she received from her new insurance agent.
So they outright denied us, the underwriters, because we host drag shows.
Drag shows was the first thing mentioned in that email, followed by the bar's daily drink specials, with the underwriters stating, "We won't write the risk."
This is the first time I've ever gotten an email like that. I cried about this for about a week.
A lesbian bar down in Houston has now been rejected, at least by insurance, by refusing to work with them or cover them further. I guess just because of the kind of bar it is, this is where we've gone now. The ridiculous nature of this has gone even crazier because, again, drag shows and bars, I thought what we're concerned with was children being around. Apparently that they think is happening in this bar. Let's watch more.
Mabry says only people who are 21 and older can enter the bar, and they don't allow children inside to watch the drag shows. She believes the current political climate is what's fueling this.
The narrative that we aren't good people, that's what the insurance companies, I believe, are looking at us as a risk. And obviously at some point they've decided that we are too much of a risk.
What's more, insuring a bar isn't like insuring a car. A policy isn't automatically renewed. Mabry says bar owners have to reapply each year. She's already paying $60,000 a year for coverage. If the cost goes even higher, she fears the worst moving forward.
So you have to think about the people we've employed, how much we buy from specs, all those other things. You take one away and then all of us start declining. You're hurting the economies.
I'm trying to figure out when Republican lawmakers are going to start coming out in full force to protect the small business owner, particularly this one in Houston. I guess they don't give a damn. Maybe they hate businesses. Maybe they hate the economy, or maybe they hate gay folks. That might be the problem, because look, Texas is one of at least 16 states where these legislators have proposed bills this year seeking to restrict the audiences for drag performances and where they can take place. Sounds like a free country to you? Tennessee is the only state to have enacted such a law, but Texas is working their way up. And by the way, they're trying to eliminate more and more of these particular bars, I guess lesbian bars. But the problem is there's only a few in the United States anyway. It's like a problem they're looking to promote when there's not really one there at all, especially since they're Americans, they can do whatever the hell they want. But still, there's only a few, and as this graphic here shows, in the late 80s, there were an estimated 200 lesbian bars across the country, and now there are thought to be just about 16, Miranda. Jesus, like,
yeah.
What?
It seems on the surface, maybe to some people, silly. It's like, oh, well, why? It's just a bar, we have bigger problems. But when you, and as a lesbian, I can speak to this from my heart, is that when something like this happens, not only is it ignored, but it's encouraged and it's being acted upon, actively taken away from you. It makes you feel like it's not okay for you to exist as you are in public. I don't have a problem with gay people, but we don't need the gay bars. We don't need the drag shows. Okay, so it's only fine for me to exist in the privacy of my own home and not where you can see it and perceive it. And so it makes you feel as though you're not a welcome member of society anymore. And another note to be made is that if you watch Republicans, and you made a really good job of pointing this out a little bit ago, is that everything they do is contradictory. Anything they fight for is always contradictory. They're not coming out for small businesses. They're not coming out for the economy. So anything they do contradicts itself because they don't actually care about any of these culture war issues that they tell their voters that they do care about. It's all about what's good for them.
Did you, I was wondering if there's some other part about this insurance refusal, which would make it even worse. This is my thought, because they're thinking, these types of bars, these types of establishments get attacked. Maybe Molotov cocktails thrown in windows, people run in and try to murder folks, and they don't want that to be a part of any kind of insurance coverage for these types of damages, maybe even to the building. But if you admit that, you'd be admitting that people are having these increased numbers of violent, hateful attacks on what should be protected Americans. That's something they probably don't want to admit either.